A skull in a shallow grave. A gangster's spine hacked apart, left for dogs to find. Martin Hamilton, the Blackhill butcher, vanished in 2015, and what followed was a trail of blood, betrayal, and silence so cold it still echoes through Glasgow's underworld. We're breaking down the 7 key moments that led to one of Scotland's most brutal gangland murders. Moments that turned one feared gangster into a mutilated corpse in the woods. This is Crime Pulse, where we rip open the wounds Britain tries to forget. Only 15% of you are subscribed. Don't be the one who only hears half the story. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and let's dive into step 1. The last time anyone saw Martin Hamilton alive. April 16th, 2015. Glasgow, Great Western Road. It's lunchtime. The streets are alive. Students on break, office workers grabbing food, buses hissing at the curb. In the middle of it all, one man moves like a ghost in daylight. Martin Hamilton, 53, thick-set, alert, and dangerous. Nicknamed the Blackhill Butcher, Hamilton isn't just another face in the crowd. He's a career criminal, out on parole after serving time for torture, assault, and drug trafficking. Crime so brutal, jurors had to be moved 200 miles from Glasgow just to feel safe hearing the evidence. But since his release in 2014, he's already back on police radar. Breached parole, gone underground, and labelled high risk. Yet here he is, walking alone through the heart of Glasgow. No disguise, no crew. Just a thick frame moving with purpose and eyes that won't stop scanning the crowd, like he knows someone's out there, watching. Then, gone. No phone calls, no CCTV trail, no body. Hamilton vanishes into the city's bloodstream like a ghost. But this wasn't just a disappearance. Someone had set the trap. And in the dark corners of Scotland's underworld, the noose was already tightening. December 17th, 2015, West Calder, West Lothian. A local dog walker winds through the frost-covered woods off the B7015. Silence, except for boots crunching frozen ground, and a dog that suddenly bolts off the trail. It starts digging furiously at a patch of disturbed earth. The walker steps closer, curious, then freezes. A skull, a human spine, hacked apart, barely buried, rotting in the dirt like garbage. Police seal off the woods within the hour. Forensic tents rise like ghosts among the trees. Days later, DNA confirms what some feared. It's Martin Hamilton. He's been dead for months, likely since the day he vanished in April. The post-mortem reads like something out of a horror script. A gunshot to the head, skull fractures, knife wounds, blunt and sharp force trauma. Someone didn't just kill him, they butchered him. Detective Superintendent Kenny Graham doesn't mince words. This was an execution, a gangland hit. Hamilton wasn't just taken out, he was made an example of. The next step is where the real reckoning begins. Who wanted the butcher dead? Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and follow the trail deeper. Martin Hamilton wasn't just another street thug. In Glasgow's underworld, he was a ghost story told in whispers, feared, hated, unforgettable. They called him the Blackhill Butcher, after the rough estate in Glasgow where his name became legend. Born in Maryhill, raised in Anderston, Hamilton was a stocky, fast-talking bully. He wasn't tall, but he cast a long shadow. By the 1990s, he was knee-deep in Scotland's drug trade, moving cocaine, heroin, and ecstasy between Glasgow and Edinburgh, flooding the streets with poison. But drugs were just the beginning. Hamilton ruled through terror. He'd lure young men in with promises of fast cash or free gear. Then came the switch, stabbings to the face, boiling water down the back, spoons to the eyes. Some victims were raped, others abducted, all of them broken. He was charged with everything from torture to assault. But when court dates came, witnesses vanished, testimonies crumbled, 12 high court cases collapsed because no one dared speak against him. The system finally caught up in 2000. To avoid tainting local jurors, his trial was moved 200 miles north to Inverness. There, he was sentenced to 9 years for a litany of violent crimes, but prison didn't soften him. When Hamilton walked out of Castle Huntly Open Prison in September 2014, he didn't lay low. He returned to the streets like a storm brewing for round 2. Only this time, something had shifted. The empire he once controlled had changed. He was no longer a king. He was a cog, working someone else's game. By 2015, Martin Hamilton became a collector for hire, tied to a Liverpool drug cartel, part of the machinery moving cocaine through Britain's veins. Sources say the job came after a motorbike crash left one of the cartel's dealers out of action. That man had a tick book, a log of debts from junkies and local pushers. Hamilton was handed the book. His mission: collect every penny. The total? Roughly £40,000. Not small change, but Hamilton saw more than money. He saw an opportunity, and that's where it all started to fall apart. Some say he skimmed off the top. Others say he lost the book, or just never bothered to pay the money back. Whichever version you believe, one thing's clear: he didn't deliver. And in this business, failure isn't an option. It's a death sentence. But this wasn't just a problem for the Liverpool crew. Back in Glasgow, Hamilton had history with the Daniel crime family, a powerful gang that once backed him, feared him, maybe even owed him. Now, they wanted him out too. Was Hamilton trying to play both sides? Was he a double agent in a world where loyalty is currency and betrayal means a bullet? He thought he could walk the tightrope, but that £40,000 debt wasn't just a number. It was a loaded gun, and someone had already pulled the trigger. If you've ever seen someone dig their own grave through greed, you'll know how this ends. The next step is nothing short of carnage. April 2015, West Lothian. Martin Hamilton was walking into a trap, and he never saw it coming. He walked into a house on Moss Side Drive, Blackburn, and never walked out. We don't know who called him there. Could have been a trusted face, maybe even someone he'd worked with. Or it could have been strangers sent north from Liverpool with one job. Close the book on the Blackhill butcher. What we do know is this: it was fast and it was savage. A gunshot to the skull. Then, blunt force and blades, used with rage, not just precision. They butchered him, reducing a feared gangster to little more than bones. His skull and spine, all that remained, were stuffed into a shallow grave near Five Sisters Business Park in West Calder. Dumped like garbage. Left for foxes, badgers, whatever hungry thing wandered past. The house was cleaned, kitchen units ripped out, walls bleached, a van meticulously wiped down. But they missed something: traces of blood, hints of violence. Like ghosts, they clung to the scene, waiting for forensics to find them. This wasn't a messy street beef or a heat-of-the-moment fight. This was a professional hit, and more than that, it was a message. This is what happens when you steal from the wrong people. The next step reveals how his killers tried to bury the truth. The moment police ID'd Martin Hamilton's remains, the clock rewound to April 16th, his last confirmed sighting on Great Western Road, Glasgow. Now they had a window. Alive in April. Dead by December. Somewhere in that gap, Hamilton was hunted down. Investigators zeroed in on Moss Side Drive, Blackburn, a quiet street that suddenly lit up with activity. Forensics uncovered blood traces, fibers, and a van stained with evidence. The house had been gutted. Kitchen units torn out, bleach everywhere, but not clean enough. Locals spoke up. Strange cars, accents not from around here. Liverpool maybe. Hamilton's connections to both the Daniel crime clan and Merseyside gangs pointed to betrayal on both sides. Police appealed to the public. Did you see Hamilton on Great Western Road that day? Did you spot anything off near West Calder Woods? Back in October 2015, when Hamilton was still just missing, Crime Stoppers posted a £2,000 reward. Quiet whispers trickled in. The story was getting clearer. Someone close had flipped. And in the next step, we name a suspect. If you're hooked, smash that like, because we're getting to the heart of the kill. January 2016, police make their move. James Farrelly, 52, is arrested, a local from Blackburn, known on the streets as Scouse for his Liverpool roots. He's no stranger to cops, his rap sheet's full of cocaine and heroin charges. Now he's facing something much darker. Prosecutors say Farrelly and others lured Hamilton to Moss Side Drive, shot him dead, then hacked his body apart. They claim he helped bury the remains near West Calder and cleaned the murder scene, ripping out the kitchen, bleaching the walls, scrubbing the van. Farrelly denies everything. His lawyer, the late Derek Ogg QC, called it a complicated case. No confession, no murder weapon, just forensic traces, whispers, and shadows. But here's what haunts the case. Was Farrelly a hired hand for the Liverpool cartel? Was he working for the Daniels, silencing a liability? Or was someone even closer to Hamilton pulling the strings? You decide. Drop a comment. Who do you think set him up? The next step is where the whole story turns, and it's rotten to the core. Here's the twist that stings the hardest. Martin Hamilton wasn't just taken out by enemies. He was betrayed by his own blood. Underworld whispers point to a family member, maybe a cousin, maybe a nephew, someone tied to the Daniel clan, someone who knew his routines, someone Hamilton probably trusted. This relative, loyal to the Daniels, allegedly set him up, lured him to Moss Side Drive, left the door open, then watched the trap spring shut. Why? Hamilton got greedy. He played the Liverpool cartel against the Daniels. Thought he could skim, double deal, control both sides. But in the drug world, loyalty runs deeper than blood. And Hamilton became a liability. The Daniels didn't get their own hands dirty. They let Farrelly take the fall, knowing he'd never talk. And the one person Hamilton never saw coming, the one who should have had his back, sold him out. In Glasgow's Underworld, betrayal is business. But when blood turns cold, that's personal. If that twist hit you hard, drop a like. And comment below, could you live with yourself after setting up family? The finale's coming, and it leaves no one clean. High Court, Glasgow, January 2017. James Farrelly is finally charged. Murder, evidence tampering, drug trafficking. The trial's set for May. After nearly 2 years, the butcher's killers are about to face justice. But then, everything falls apart. March 27th. Farrelly is terminal. Cancer's eating him alive behind bars at Sawton Prison. He's granted compassionate bail. Days later, he's dead. No trial, no cross-examination, no answers. The case collapses. All charges are dropped. 15 months of police work, interviews, forensics, surveillance, gone in a breath. Detective Superintendent Kenny Graham is left standing over a cold file. And Martin Hamilton's family? Still waiting. So was Farrelly the hitman? A loyal foot soldier, or just a fool guy, sacrificed to bury the real truth? The Daniel clan never speaks. Their empire rolls on, untouched. Hamilton's murder joins the long list of gangland cases where power silences justice. If this kind of ending makes your blood boil, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notification, and share this video. Ross Hamilton believed he was untouchable, feared, infamous, a name spoken in hushed tones from Blackhill to West Calder, a legend carved not in stone but in scars. But in Glasgow, even legends get buried, sometimes by strangers, sometimes by blood. You've been watching Crime Pulse, where we tell the truth no matter how dark. Until next time, stay sharp, stay safe, and never stop asking why.